5 exercises I programmed for my mother at 62 years old to have her build strong knees and to prevent the wear and tear that comes along with aging. First exercise is knee extension. Place your feet firmly on the ground and then extend your knee one at a time. Pause there for a fraction of a second and then I'm going to apply some resistance from the top using my hand and she's going to have to push it back. We slowly bring it down to the ground and then repeat. We do this for 8 to 10 repetitions on each leg. Next up, hamstring curls. I'm going to have her use this chair for support so that she can focus purely on the movement. Bend the knee to a 90-degree angle and then the same drill. I'm going to apply some resistance from the top and she's going to have to push it back. We slowly bring it down to the ground and then repeat. 8 to 10 repetitions on each leg again. And now we have seated toe raises. She's going to have to sit close to the edge of the chair, feet planted on the ground and then raise the toes off completely as much as you can. Slowly bring it back down and do this for 20 repetitions in total. Exercise number 4, we have calf raises using a chair again for support and I'm going to have her move the entire weight onto the toes. Slow it down during the negative. Do this for 18 to 20 repetitions in total. Finally, we have the hip flexor lifts. Seated on the edge of the chair again, feet firmly planted on the ground and lift one leg at a time using only the hip. Keep alternating for 20 repetitions in total. Building strength and mobility through the hip flexor eases the pain in the knee joint and make them resilient. Additionally, I encourage her to finish it off with a 5-minute backward walk. And if you are helping someone do this, make sure that the surroundings are clean and you are fully watchful so that there is no risk of someone falling down and ending up in an injury. I'd recommend these drills twice per week. Share this with your parents, friends, and anybody else who might make use of this information. 3 exercises I make my mother do at 62 years old to have her improve her balance. People start losing balance as they age and that makes them more prone to falls and injuries, which most of them find hard to recover from. Start by placing your right foot in front of the left in a way that your heel is touching the toes. And then walk a total of 20 steps. Be careful with this because most people find this challenging. For the next exercise, I'd like you to bring a chair and place your left hand on the chair. Bring your right knee to 90 degrees and your right hand all the way out in the front. Start by rotating your arm towards the back and then bring it towards the front again. Give me a total of 10 repetitions of this exercise on each side. For the final exercise, stand straight and bring one of your knees to 90 degrees. Find your balance and then alternate with the other side. Keep repeating slow and steady for a total of 40 seconds. I recommend these exercises at least twice per week. It's simple but extremely useful. Please share this with your friends or family members who can make use of this exercise routine. 3 exercises I get my mother to do at 62 years old to have her build a strong grip. Maintaining grip strength is super important as we grow older because we rely on our hands for getting a lot of work done. For example, opening a jar, carrying grocery bags, or just being able to hold on to something if we end up losing balance. Place a towel down and load it with anything. I'm using a plate here and then she's going to have to scrunch the towel towards herself using one hand. She's going to have to do this for 45 seconds on each side. Use your own hand to apply resistance on your thumb and push back with your thumb at the same time. Hold it there for 10 seconds and do the same thing from the other side. Once you are done with it, switch your hands and do the same exercise again. Get warm water in a container and bring a small towel, dip it in the water and squeeze the water out using your hands. This is 1 repetition. You're going to have to do 10 repetitions of this on each side. Weak grip will have an upstream impact in other parts of your body, which could lead to injuries. I would recommend that you do this at least twice per week and about a couple of sets every time you're doing this. Share this with your parents, family members, friends, or anyone else who might find this useful. Women, after they hit menopause, start to lose muscle and bone mass really fast. And the most effective way to prevent this loss is exercise. The biggest mistake people make is believing that they're too old to start exercising. Here are 5 exercises I make my mother do to help her maintain her muscle and strength. Start with glute bridges, feet flat on the floor, and get your arms up towards the ceiling. Extend the hips and squeeze your glutes in the end. 20 repetitions of this exercise. Immediately into wall push-ups, place your hands on the wall elbows extended, and then bend your elbows to get close to the wall. Press back up to complete the rep and give me 20 repetitions of this exercise. Let's work the quadriceps now. Hook a mini band to one leg of the chair and place the other end of the band on top of your ankle. Extend your knee, pause at the top for a little bit, and slowly bring your foot down. 10 repetitions on each leg. Work the lats now. You'll need a longer band for this. With the band anchored in front of you, pull both the ends towards yourself. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and return with control. 20 repetitions of this exercise. Finally, we work the deltoids, external rotations. Pull the band towards yourself with your elbow flaring out, and then rotate all the way up to get your fist facing the ceiling. Bring it back with control, 10 repetitions on each side. These exercises can get a lot more advanced, but this is a good start. Please do me a favor, share this with your parents, friends, family members, or anyone else who might need to start strength training. 5 exercises I make my mother do at 62 to have her build strong ankles. It is really easy for older adults to end up in an injury because of an ankle twist, and that just immobilizes them. Not good at that age because muscle loss is at its peak. And hence, we must do everything in our capacity to protect them from getting injured. And let me tell you something, exercise is our best bet. To begin with, I'm going to place this tennis ball on the floor as a target and have her move her foot from right to left, then left to right, back and forth for about 15 to 20 repetitions, slow and deliberate. The idea is to make it challenging but not impossible, so keep it within that rep range. Now I'm going to make her do calf raises with this ball placed between her feet, and I'll ask her to squeeze this really hard while she does the movement. Not more than 15 to 20 repetitions in total, because we don't want to make this a really painful exercise. The idea is to have her only touch the pain threshold and stop. Moving on, we are going to be working the opposite muscle through this movement called the tibialis raises. I'm going to have her place her back on the wall and then move her entire weight on the heels. Not more than 15 to 20 repetitions of this. This is a really good movement for your ankles and also for your knees. Next up, we are going to be using this towel, and I'm going to have her do towel curls. The idea is to scrunch this towel towards yourself using only the muscles in your foot. This can be a challenging movement if someone's never done it before, so not more than 15 to 20 repetitions in total. And finally, I'm going to make her do this ankle mobility drill in a split stance. Get the knee ahead of the toes without letting the heel raise off the ground. Back and forth, 10 repetitions on each side. I am going to recommend these drills at least twice per week. Share this with your parents, friends, or anyone else in your family who can make use of these exercises. At 62 years old, my mother can sit in this position on the floor for hours. And I'm not saying it's a big deal, because in our culture, we are used to sitting on the ground in a cross-legged position. But if you find it hard to sit down on the floor, here are 4 exercises that will get you there. Sit down on a chair, lift one leg and place your ankle on the other leg. After that, press your knee down with your arms, keeping your chest up, your spine neutral. Hold it for a little bit and then release. Give me 10 repetitions of this exercise on each leg. Next up, remain seated on the chair and lift one leg slightly off the ground. After that, move the leg towards the inside, hold it for a little bit and then towards the outside. This is 1 repetition. Give me 5 repetitions in total on each leg. Roll a yoga mat, keep it on the floor, place your heels on it so that they are slightly elevated, and then sit down in a deep squat for a total of 60 seconds. The elevation under your heels is going to make it a lot more easier for you to stay comfortable in this position. Sit down in a saddle position so that your ankles are fully extended, and then transfer your weight behind. Hang in there for a total of 60 seconds. Alright, when we want to get used to sitting on the floor, the most important thing is to sit more in this position and get a lot of practice. And to make that happen, place a block under so your knees come in line with the hip, and that will make it more comfortable for you to sit down. I hope this helps. Mother approved exercises for a stronger lower back. As we age, back pain becomes a lot more common, which affects the quality of our life. We are going to show you 4 simple exercises that I get my mother to do at 62 years old to help her build a strong lower back. Lie down on your back, get your knees to 90 degrees and extend one leg at a time. Keep alternating between right and left. Do this for 10 repetitions on each side. Next up, side plank. Lie down sideways and place your weight onto your elbows. Lift your hips off the ground, hold for 30 seconds on each side. Glute bridges down on your back, raise your arms up towards the ceiling and extend your hips to feel the contraction on your glutes at the end range. 20 repetitions in total. Finally, stand straight, feet hip width apart, bend at the hips, keep your chest up and finish the movement by extending the hips back up. 20 repetitions of this exercise. I'd recommend you do these exercises at least twice per week, and if you're doing this consistently, you are very few workouts away from building a bulletproof lower back. Share this with your friends, family members, or anybody else who might make use of this information. 5 exercises I make my mother do at 62 years old to have her build strong knees. Older adults are very likely to develop weak knees, and that makes it difficult for them to do basic activities of daily living, things like walking up and down the stairs and even getting up from a toilet seat. Start with calf raises. Hold on to a chair, lift your heels all the way up, bring them slowly back down. Give me 20 repetitions of this exercise. Next up, seated hip flexor lifts. Lift one leg at a time, pause for a little bit, feel the burn and repeat. 10 repetitions on each leg. Ankle rotations. Explore the full range of motion. The health of your ankles have a direct impact on the health of your knees, so this is important. 10 repetitions on each side. Sit down on a chair, feet planted and raise your toes off the ground. This movement works the muscle in the front of your lower leg, providing a lot of stability to the knee. 20 repetitions in total. And finally, sit to stand. Do this with control, adjust the range of motion and increase depth eventually. Try not using your hands. 10 repetitions. I'd recommend you do these exercises at least twice per week, and if you found this helpful, do me a favor, please share this with your parents, friends and family members who might find this useful.